Hey there, this is Mr. Miller. We are going over data collection part 2. Yesterday, or in the previous lesson, we went through the process and the steps of developing this header row for our data, and then we shared that data with an entire group of people. You shared it with the group that was your class. After that, you are supposed to go into Google Drive to the Shared With Me side and then look at the information in Shared With Me and click on all of the different, and it's not working. Click on all the different data collection forms from your classmates and enter your information across there. So we should see something like this where we have everybody's name, the zip code, the date of birth, the color. The first 4 are required for this, and then the last ones are different things that you wanted to add in there. So mine is favorite color, favorite season, favorite pop or soda, and not favorite shoe size, but your shoe size. You might choose Xbox or PlayStation, console games. I mean, whatever type of things you want to add on there. So those are what we're doing there. After that, we did go through the steps of changing the colors of these. I used to call this the theme, and then they changed it on me, and theme doesn't do what I expected it to do, so we're going to go down here to alternating colors. It's in format, so you can see that I selected all the text, and I actually selected more than I have here. Alternating colors, and there are a number of things, another number of options. I think we went over this in lesson 1 as well. So if I click on one of these, you're going to see everything change, and it does a dark color for the top, and then it does a lighter color and white. It kind of alternates those back and forth so that we can kind of follow each one of these. When I turn off the header, it makes that top row go away, and it just starts with white and goes back and forth that way. If I click on footer, it's going to add a footer row down here, and that will come into play later on in one of the other projects we're going to work on. But for right now, we don't need to have the footer. And you're going to choose the colors that you want and hit done. Oh, that was the other one. You can always, alternating colors, you can customize these. If I wanted to have it bright blue and fuchsia, I could do that. That's really abrasive. If I wanted to change different colors, I can change them to whatever I'd like, which is kind of nice. So they have the 10 or 12 different default styles, and then they also give you the ability to change custom styles, whatever you want there. So that is that part. If you remember, every one of these things that starts with a letter on the top that goes up and down, those are called columns. The ones that go left and right are called rows. Rows start with numbers, columns start with letters, and every one of these boxes is called a cell. The next step here is I have a whole bunch of extra things down here. I need to make those go away, and so I'm going to delete these rows. And to delete these, I can select these cells. And if there was data out here, let's say I put some data, type in some stuff. If I select these cells and hit delete on the keyboard, it just makes the data go away. It doesn't actually remove those colors. So I can do that one of 2 ways. I can select that information, go to format, alternating colors, and remove, and it'll, oh man, it removed everything. That doesn't work. So the other option is to click on a row. So I select an entire row. So if I click that and then hold and select all of these rows, I can 2-finger click and I can delete those rows. It says delete rows 12 through 26. I hit delete, gone. And now I am left with just my data, and my data has an alternating color. The other thing you can do, in addition to deleting, you can also insert rows and columns. We did that before. We inserted rows in our personal schedule. This time we're going to click in the 2-finger click on the top of the row 1, which is the column, or not row 1, column A, and we're going to insert 1 to the left. So there's a new column A. All that stuff gets moved over to the right. And I'm going to try something because that's what I like to do. And if it doesn't work, then we do something different. And I don't think it's going to. So we'll just have to do 1, 2, 3, and so on. And again, just like I showed you in a previous lesson, you can click the fill bucket, the fill handle there, and fill that pattern all the way down. So I have 10 options here. We'll probably be closer to the 20 or 25 in class, but that's what I have here in the demo. And I'm going to put number up there, just the pound sign, hashtag, whatever you call it. You can type number and so on. You'll notice that this one is a little bit different because if you remember in a previous lesson, we centered these. If it doesn't look exactly the same, we can use our paint format. We click on the one we want it to look like, click paint format, and then change the one that we want to change. That did not do what it was supposed to do. Oh well, we'll just do it like this. There we go. And we can do these guys in the center as well. Puts them right in the middle. So that is our introduction, our insertion of a column. And so we added a column there. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to add what they call a filter. This allows us to sort this data. So if I click on the column headings here from A1 through I1, so I'm selecting that first row of data. Over here on the right-hand side of the toolbar is looks like a funnel, and this is called a filter. And so if I create a filter there, you'll see that it does something to the header row there. It changes what it looks like. So as I click on that, it makes it have 3 little lines on each one of these things. And what that allows us to do is filter our data. If I double click here, it's going to stretch those out, so I can always move those out so I can actually see what my information looks like, especially down here. That's fine. Double click, so you resize it so you can actually see what you're looking at. So what the filter does is that allows you to sort this data, and so I can sort them A to Z. A to Z in a number is just 1 to whatever the last number is. Sorting A to Z in a date would make the earliest date first, so that'd be January 14th of 2001, and oh no, there's one right there, 7/14 of 1983. And the most recent date should be at the bottom, which would be 5/19 of 2005, I believe. So anyway, so I can sort A to Z, and then it sorts everybody. And you can see that it automatically keeps every row together. It just sorts this information on this column. So if I want to put everybody sorted by favorite pop, I have stuff that way. Favorite season, I can sort A to Z. I can also go backwards, Z to A, start at the bottom, go that way. The reason why we numbered these is so that way if we want to, we can always go back to what the original layout was, because if you don't have a way to get back to the original, you have to undo a whole bunch of things. So that is our use of a filter and how to do that. The other thing you can do, there are some other options here that we'll play with a little bit later, but you can filter on a number of different things or sort this data on a number of different things. So data collection, our main goal here is to have a screenshot for this assignment that has the header rows that have 8 different column headings, that you have at least 15 to 20 students that have, some of your classmates that have added their data on here, that you have alternating colors, either custom alternating colors or the default like this, and then also you need to have a filter on there as well. So those are the the things that are required for this assignment. If you have any questions as you're going through this lesson, this part of the lesson, please send me a message. I'm more than happy to help.